I'm on my way back from one of the most amazing weeks. Mount Rushmore just knocked me out. It was so great. This whole episode I'm going to do on Mount Rushmore. Then next week we'll be in Deadwood, South Dakota, and Greg and Penny put on an amazing show at the Wild Bill Salon. It was historical. And who shows up but the Prowler Automotive Association? And wait till you see the surprise I have that came out of that group. So the next two episodes, be sure and subscribe, and then we will just have some fun showing you exactly the trouble I got into the last couple weeks. As you make that windy road up to the top here, you come across a little town with curio shops and hotels. I'm not totally into them, but you know, it's much like Niagara Falls. Weather that day was amazing, 76 degrees. Luckily, there was a pullout right here. As you make that one turn back there, bam, here's what you see. And for me, it was, and I don't want to get emotional, but for me, it was this highlight almost of my life. Something I've wanted to do even as a little girl. And here I am making this turn, and there it is. And someone told me that you would be able to see it as you're driving up, but this was really spectacular. I can't say anything more. Let's keep going. Time I'm going to be a tourist, so that you walk right into an information center and a walkway here. So let's go down the walkway and see how close we can get. As I'm walking up here, there's a little bit of a grade, so I am out of breath. They're probably going to hear me huffing and puffing, but boy, it's worth it. We'll be up a little bit closer soon. Along the way, you see this bust of Guzman Borglum. I hope I pronounced that right. He was the gentleman that sculpted all this and started the sculpturing. He ended up dying during the process, and his son took over. The interesting thing I realized, I didn't know a whole lot about the history, but this particular mountain supposedly is owned by the Lakota Indians. It's run by the National Park Service, but the Lakotas in a treaty in the 1800s were given the option to take money for these hills, and they opted not to take it. So in their minds, they believe it still belongs to them. That money that they did not take is now in the billions, and they still want to lay claim to the mountain. That's all I know about it. If you're more interested in learning a little bit about the history, I highly recommend researching it, because I did not know this, and it was fascinating to read about. And I got up to the vantage point, and you could see they were building the July 4th festivities and amphitheater, but it didn't take away from the beauty of looking out over everything. It was just absolutely the perfect day and the perfect vantage point right now. But I wanted to stop and just give you a sample of what I'm thinking. I guess what I want to say is that if you could imagine what it'd be like to want to do this all your life. You know, I looked at travelogues and I looked at books, and like I said, I didn't know that much about the history. I just knew I wanted to be there. And so for me now in my 80th year, to be able to have the ability to drive out here, I'm so grateful for my health that I was able to check this one off my bucket list. And I hope that if there's something that you want to do, put a picture of it out. Make some sort of intention. It will happen for you also, like it did for me. And thank all of you for staying with me during this wonderful trip of mine to Mount Rushmore. Look what I happened on my way back from Mount Rushmore, on my way back to Deadwood for an evening of karaoke. I said, nope, I gotta stop at this. I guess it's the wetlands, but wow. And remember, Mark Twain said the air is clear, crisp, bracing, and delicious. And why shouldn't it be? It's the same air that angels breathe. And I'm out here at this pull-off, and there's nobody here. They're just driving by. So I thought I'm going to get some footage. Look at this place. The beauty reminds me a lot of Lake Tahoe. It is really pretty here. And once again, like I said in Wyoming, you can take these videos all day long, but nothing is as pretty as standing here. I think this kind of gives you a reading on where I'm at. So I was in Deadwood, and I came down here to Mount Rushmore. Really not that far. It was like 60 miles, something like that. But it's all this beautiful mountain road, so it's worth it if you like scenic drives. And seeing that beauty as I leave the area just was putting the icing on the cake. And so next week we're going to be in South Dakota. A lot of footage in karaoke at the Wild Bill Bar. So be sure and tune in next week, and we're going to have some Prowler cars, the Automotive Association, showing you a really good time. So we'll see you next week, and thank you for joining me today.